Hi, this is John Noser with Board Game Geek. This is a Board Game Geek Con 2011 explanation video for Coney Island by Argentum Verlag. Coney Island is a 2 to 4 player game, and it should take you about 30 to 60 minutes. The setup of the main board is pretty simple. You're going to lay out all the character cards so everybody has access to them. You are going to divide the newspaper tiles by different colors, then shuffle them up and place them face down as they are. You are going to shuffle the building site tiles and then draw 4 randomly and then place them in the middle of the board like I already have them out there. You're also going to then divide the grand attraction tiles by size, and then you're going to pile them up. The top one should be the one that's worth the most victory points, and then so on and so forth. Make sure everybody has access to the pile of money. You will put all the cubes, the red and white cubes, in the bag so people can randomly pull them out, and then everybody puts their score marker on the 0 spot. Now we'll look at the individual player board setup. Now we're going to set up your personal board. You're going to put your circle performers on each of the spots on the top row. There's going to actually, you can kind of see a little bit of a discoloration where they go. The semicircle, the half circle are going to go in the middle row, and the square performers are going in the bottom row. It really doesn't matter which order you put them in. You're also going to start with 2 money and 1 random cube pulled from the bag. The first part of your turn is going to be the income phase, and your income is going to be determined by how many performers you actually have on the board. Your first turn you will get 1 victory point, 1 money, and 1 random cube. But as more performers go on the board, you will uncover and get more income. So in this situation you get 2 victory points, 2 money, 1 random cube, and 1 cube of your choice. If you actually get all of your square performers on the board, that symbol there means you get an extra action. So let's go to the action phase and see what the actions are. After the income phase is the action phase, and there are 3 main actions. And on your turn, you can take each main action once. The first main action is taking one of these site tiles, flipping it over, and placing it on one of these spots that's actually already adjacent to one of the site tiles on the board. You would pay that amount of money, so that's either going to be 2 or 1 depending on the spot, and you would get whatever is on that spot. So if I chose this spot, I would pay 2 money and I would get 1 random cube. The second action is placing performers on the board. As you can see, I already have some performers on the board. But the circle performers cost 1 red cube. The half circle performers cost 1 white and 1 red cube. And the square performers cost 2 white and 1 red cube. When I pay that cost, I can place them on any free spot. The spots that actually have some art, park benches and stuff, they are not places you can put a performer. If for at any time I actually put performers and they create a square, I get 2 victory points for doing that. If it remains that way at the end of my next turn, I will get an additional 2 points. I will get 2 points in every turn until that formation has been broken up. The third action is placing a grand attraction. You will have to pay the cubes on the grand attraction. In this case, I would have to pay 2 red and 2 white cubes. Also, the iconography in the middle means that's a 2, so I have to place this on 2 different color performers, and it has to be of this shape. So I could place it here. If I place it here, I score that many victory points for myself, and I cover those performers. The performers that get covered also score victory points for the player who owns those performers. So I would flip that over, there's my grand attraction, and then the purple would get 1 victory point, plus 3 victory points for a total of 4, and the orange player would get 1 victory point. And that, it doesn't matter whose turn or who put that grand attraction down, those player would get those victory points. Those performers now get returned back to their board and fill up spots on their board, so you will get less income next turn. Now there are 5 minor actions, and they are represented by the character tiles. On your turn, you can buy 1 character tile. They each cost 2 bundles of money. You can buy the tile from the board if nobody owns it, or directly from another player. You can use that character tile and any character tile that's still in front of you from a previous turn. So possibly, if you have all 5 in front of you, you could actually do 5 minor actions. Let's quickly go through what those minor actions are. This one allows you to spend 1 victory point to get a random cube. This allows you to spend 1 money to get 2 victory points. This one allows you to spend 1 cube of any color to get a newspaper of the corresponding color. This one allows you to spend 1 money for 1 random cube. And this one allows you to exchange 1 cube for another. So basically you're exchanging red for white or white for red. There is one quick thing to mention about extra actions. Extra actions allow you to repeat 1 action. So it allows you to repeat one of the main actions or minor actions. There are 3 ways to get extra actions: by spending 1 of your newspaper tiles, by building over one of the site spaces that has this symbol, or again on your board, if you have all of the square performers on the board, you will have that repeat action on your turn. So there are 4 ways the game can end. If someone reaches 60 points, if the last newspaper tile is taken, if there is only 1 type of grand attraction tile left, or if there's only 8 spots free on the board in a 4-player game, 10 in a 3-player game, and 12 in a 2-player game, once all the construction tiles are laid out. The game does continue until you reach the first player, so everybody has an equal amount of turns. Now there is some final scoring. Any unused newspaper tiles will score you the amount of victory points that are printed on them. You can use the newspaper tiles for an extra action on your turn. And any performers left on the board are actually count against you and will count as -2 victory points. So if purple had 1 performer on the board and this newspaper token, he would actually gain 1 extra victory point at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. Well, that is Coney Island. For the 2- and 3-player setup rules, please refer to the rule book, and I hope you have a good time playing.